Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital spoilers. Ava sinks Kate's incriminating recording proves John's illegal Sonny tactics. General Hospital, GH, spoilers reveal that John Jagger Cates, Adam J. Harrington, has become consumed by his desire for revenge on Sonny Corinthos, Morris Bernard. There may have been a time when John was genuinely focused on upholding the law, but those days are long gone. Now all John can concentrate on is taking Sonny down by any means necessary. It's clear that Agent Cates is willing to cross almost any line if it means satisfying his desire for Sonny revenge. Even Ava Jerome, Maura West, is starting to see that it was a mistake to join forces with John, who's out of control and not making smart decisions anymore. That was obvious when John arrested Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mansi, without having any real evidence that the FBI could present to Judge Sullivan, Gita Reddy. Agent Cates was given 48 hours to come up with a proof, or else he could find himself sitting in a jail cell and ultimately be stripped of his badge. John's back is up against the wall, so this could pave the way for more blunders and his eventual GH exit. Agent Cates pushed Ava to change her statement to one that better fits his case against Christina. We're seeing John pressure Ava on things, and that pressure could come back to haunt him if he's not careful. Since Ava has a habit of making phone recordings, another one could come in handy here. Ava might secretly record John and use it to show he was coercing her into being his pawn. If Ava plays this just right, she can look like John's victim and claim she felt forced to lie, change the crime scene, and so much more. It may seem like Big Bad John was controlling Ava this whole time. Since it appears Ava will strike a deal with Sonny soon, he may also be on board with that plan. Sonny's priority has become getting rid of Jagger, so that could mean negotiating with Ava and getting her help to make it happen. Will Ava sink John with an incriminating recording at some point? Will Ava prove Agent Cates' illegal Sonny tactics and make him the villain of the story? General Hospital spoilers say John will face a downfall one way or another, so we'll bring you more predictions on Ava's next move and updates on the bad news that's brewing. In the heart of Port Charles, secrets have a way of surfacing at the most unexpected times, and Ava Jerome knows this better than anyone. Having navigated the dangerous waters of mob life and tangled in webs of deception, she has always been a master at playing the game. But this time, Ava's about to make a move that could change everything, especially for Agent Cates and John Doe, two men who thought they had everything under control. It all began when Ava stumbled upon a conversation she was never meant to hear. It was late one night at the Metro Court, where the walls have ears and secrets are easily spilled. Ava had been sitting quietly at the bar, nursing a glass of wine, her sharp eyes scanning the room for anything unusual. That's when she noticed Agent Cates slipping into a back room, his demeanor tense. Her curiosity piqued, she discreetly followed him, careful not to draw attention to herself. What she discovered was far more than she could have ever anticipated. Behind that closed door, Cates was deep in conversation with none other than John Doe, a man whose connections to the mob were as shadowy as his past. Their voices were hushed, but in the quiet of the night, Ava could hear every word. And what she heard was enough to make her blood run cold. John was laying out his plans for a new operation, a plan that involved using Sonny Corinthos as a pawn in a much larger game. The details were murky, but it was clear that John had no qualms about bending the law to achieve his goals. And Cates, for reasons Ava couldn't quite discern, seemed all too willing to go along with it. This was no mere bending of the rules. This was outright criminal conspiracy, and Ava knew it. With her pulse quickening, Ava did what she does best. She turned the situation to her advantage. She discreetly pulled out her phone, recording the entire conversation. Every detail, every whispered word, was now captured, sealed in digital proof. And as she listened to their plotting, she realized the full extent of the leverage she now held. This recording was a golden ticket, a way to protect herself and perhaps even settle a few scores. Ava knew that she needed to be careful. If Cates and John got wind of what she had, they would stop at nothing to silence her. But Ava had played this game for too long to be scared off by threats. She was determined to use this information to her advantage, but she needed to move quickly before they had a chance to cover their tracks. The first step in Ava's plan was to meet with Sunny. While their relationship had been rocky at best, they had an understanding. Each knew how to respect the other's power. Sunny was skeptical at first, his mistrust of Ava never fully abating. But when she played him the recording, his expression shifted from doubt to cold, hard determination. Sunny knew better than anyone what it meant to be used, and he had no intention of letting John or Cates get away with it. "This changes everything," Sunny muttered, his voice low as he replayed the recording, his mind already working through the implications. Ava smirked, leaning back in her chair. "I knew you'd see it my way. Now the question is, what are you going to do about it?" Sunny didn't answer immediately, his eyes narrowing as he considered his options. Finally, he looked up at Ava, his decision made. "We take this to the top. But first, we need to make sure this recording sees the light of day. Cates and John won't know what hit them." As Ava and Sunny began to formulate their plan, Cates remained blissfully unaware of the storm brewing on the horizon. He was too focused on his partnership with John, too confident that their scheme would go off without a hitch. But as the days passed, he started to notice subtle shifts. People at the PCP were whispering more than usual, and Sunny's people seemed to be watching him more closely. It wasn't long before the truth began to dawn on him. Panic set in as Cates realized that his career, his freedom, and perhaps even his life were at stake. Desperation drove him to confront John, who was equally shaken by the sudden turn of events. Together, they scrambled to figure out what had gone wrong, unaware that Ava was already 10 steps ahead. The final blow came when the recording was leaked to the press. It was a media firestorm. Headlines splashed across every outlet, exposing Cates and John's illegal tactics and their plot against Sunny. The fallout was swift and brutal. Cates was suspended pending an internal investigation, and John found himself on the run, with both the law and the mob hot on his trail. But Ava wasn't done yet. She knew that even with Cates out of the picture, there were still loose ends to tie up. John was a wild card, unpredictable and dangerous, and as long as he was out there, no one was truly safe. So she made a move that surprised even Sunny. She reached out to an old acquaintance, someone with the resources and connections to find John and bring him to justice, or to take him out if necessary. In the end, Ava's gamble paid off. John was captured, his empire dismantled piece by piece, until there was nothing left. As for Cates, his career was in ruins, his name forever tarnished by the scandal. He would never work in law enforcement again. Ava, however, emerged from the chaos unscathed and stronger than ever. She had once again proven her ability to survive in a world where the stakes were life and death, where trust was a luxury few could afford. And as she stood on the balcony of her penthouse, looking out over the city, she couldn't help but smile. Port Charles had always been a dangerous place, but with her at the top, it had just gotten a little more treacherous for those who dared to cross her. In the end, Ava Jerome had played the game better than anyone, and she had won.